So another E3 has come and gone. I'm almost 2 weeks late with this, but you know what? It's never too late to talk about the fun games we saw. So here's my top 10 games that I saw at E3 that got me excited for this year. So this list is mostly for new games. It won't include things that would have got more gameplay for, like Far Cry 6 or Kena, because they're games that I've already had interest in. And this E3 didn't really do anything to change my excitement for those, because I know I'm going to get them either way. This all for the new announcements or things that E3 has convinced me to be excited for. Number 10. So number 10 is Battlefield 6 or Battlefield 2042. I had absolutely no interest in this before, even though we knew about before E3, but the gameplay trailer had me convinced enough to keep an eye on it at least. But it's number 10 because I think for obvious reasons I don't fully trust what's going to come out of it. Who knows how much has been the end game, who knows how much it will work, or what they'll do if it doesn't work. But I can't deny that it does look pretty epic. With the sandstorm and the tornado floating in randomly throughout the game, who knows how much else they'll have in there. I wouldn't get this straight away, but I'll definitely play it at some point when it inevitably goes down to $5-10 or free on PlayStation Plus. Number 9. The big cons about this young girl who's trying to con her way into enough money, I believe, to save her mother's record store, I think it is, or music store. And she does things like puzzles and pickpocketing, just little cons, I guess, to try to make enough money to do this. I really don't know much what to think about this game because it really could go either way, but I'll have to keep my eye on it. I'm not hugely excited or just like anything like that, but I think this could be a surprise. I think this could be surprisingly fun. I think a lot of people will write it off, but it's one of those I think that if they do it right could be a nice little hit.
Okay, coming this summer to a personal computer and Xbox near you. Wish list now.
Number 8. Coromon's one I don't have much to say about. It looks like another Pokemon clone, but I think it looks like the most Pokemon-like of the Pokemon clones so far. And even though things like Nexomon and Temtem look fun, I think this is probably the one that has me the most interested so far in terms of the Pokemon clones. So hopefully it'll come to PS4 because I don't have a Switch, and that's kind of why it's lower on. It'd probably be higher if I had a Switch or if it was coming to PS4. But this one I'd really think I could enjoy a lot if it comes out, and it has online play and built-in challenges, so it looks like it really could be one of the best ones so far. Number 7. Avatar the game was probably one of the biggest surprises to come out of Ubisoft's conference. It was a surprise little thing to end it out, and I'm not sure how it'll even work, but it's another one I'll definitely keep my eye on. It has this very kind of VR feel to it, like I was really expecting this to be a VR game because it has that look to it, kind of just slowly interacting with things and just things kind of in your face trying to show off VR. And of course with Ubisoft you really don't know what to expect. It could be a great new game and they could go way too far with certain things and just completely ruin it. But they have been okay lately, I think, except for a few downfalls. But this is definitely one I'm going to keep my eye on, and I don't know, hopefully it'll be a nice little surprise for the next year if it doesn't get delayed. Number 6. Aden Chronicle. I hope I'm pronouncing that right, and is made by the same people who made the original Suikoden games, another one I'm hoping I'm pronouncing right. And even though I've never played any of those games, I know they're a big deal to a lot of people. People have been waiting for a sequel or a new game from them for many years now. And this is very exciting to those people who now they get their spiritual successor made by the original team. And the Kickstarter was just a huge success. It obviously has a very loyal fan base, so hopefully this will be something that can please them and bring in new fans like me. Number 5. The Guardians of the Galaxy game that was shown off is very, very divisive. Some people hate the looks of the characters, some people wanted them to tie in more to movies or the comics, and some people don't like the looks of the combat, or maybe they're pissed off because you can't play as all the characters. But it definitely looks leaps and bounds better than the Avengers game ever did. The enemy variety is definitely a lot better. The dialogue even seems like it's a lot better, even though it could go a bit in the wrong direction. Hopefully they've learned some lessons from how the Avengers game turned out, and they can use what they've learned from that to make this to be a really fun game. And hopefully convince the people who aren't too into it to take a look. Number 4. The Final Fantasy Pixel Collection is a collection of the first 6 Final Fantasy games, but I believe it's slightly upgraded of the versions of the original art, which is something I've been waiting for years. Because I think this was teased or hinted at back for the 30th anniversary years ago, and I've been waiting for it ever since. It was only mentioned for mobile and Steam at the moment, so hopefully it will come to other systems, because I really would love to play through all these on my PS4. Because with trophy support and other little built-in things like maybe concept art and other unlockables, I think this could be one of the best Final Fantasy collections ever made. Because some of these games could be very hard to get your hands on the original versions, especially if you're trying to find the original English versions of these games. So hopefully this will be a great way around all that. Number 3. Atomic Heart was one I didn't even notice when I was watching E3. I only saw it when I was watching reaction videos and all those kind of things. And it looks like one of the weirdest but most fun games shown off in the whole of E3. Kind of like a mix between a first person shooter mixed with magic and technology, weird robots, and everything I saw about, even the music that was shown during the trailer, everything just looked like it could be a wild game. This definitely looks like my kind of game, and if it goes right, I really think it could be one of the best games of the year comes out, and definitely at least one of the most fun and weird fun kind of games that comes out as the year comes out. Number 2. Final Fantasy Origin, or Stranger in Paradise, is kind of like a gritty reboot of Final Fantasy 1 is what it's been called. And we don't know much about it yet, but obviously if it's going to be a Final Fantasy, it's going to be one of the most interesting things for me at E3, as it is my favourite franchise. I really wasn't expecting, even though I'd heard about this, rumours about this a few times before E3, I really didn't expect it. It was a big surprise to me when it came out. Because usually these rumours are just, they lead nowhere, so this was a very nice surprise for me. I don't know if I'll be able to play the demo before it's taken down. Hopefully they'll extend it, because the first day or two I think it wasn't working. I don't have a PlayStation 5 yet, like most people probably don't, and so I mightn't even get a chance to try the demo, but I know this is going to be a game I'll definitely be getting. Who knows, it might even be the one to convince me to finally buy the PlayStation 5, if I can get my hands on one, and I think that would be a great game to start with. And it's definitely great to be able to see 3 very different Final Fantasy games all on the way, all looking like they're significantly coming along well. Hopefully they'll show off more of them all soon, and we won't have to wait too long for any of them.
Splendid armor, with a helmet that was terrifying to behold.
It's Scarlet!
No. I become chaos.
Number 1. Lost in Realm was definitely my biggest surprise of E3. Not in the same way as Final Fantasy Origins, but just because I didn't expect anything like this to get me this interested. At the start I didn't think anything of it, but then the trailer very quickly won me over. But it seems like you play as this girl named Even, and you must save your sister Odd, and you fight people with a dice and a bow and arrow. And it looks has this kind of mix between cute but grittiness, kind of like the Alice in Wonderland game, or Alice Madness Returns game. So this one I'll definitely be keeping my eye on. I can't wait to see more of this. I can't wait to play it. It looks like a weird, cute, fun game that I don't know what it is about it. It has me hooked. So somehow it managed to be the most exciting game of all of E3 for me. I don't know how it happened, but I just think it looks kind of fascinating.
What do we do to those who stand in our way?
We destroy them, my queen.
So that's my top 10 games of E3 of 2021 and Summer's Game Fest. They all seem to be, most of them at least, seem to be releasing in 2022 or this year. So hopefully we'll have our hands on all of these games soon and none of them will disappoint. Anyway, thanks for watching. Feel free to let me know what you thought was the best looking stuff of E3 this year, what you're excited for, or if I missed out on anything that looked good. Because there's a lot of trailers releasing around the time that you just can't possibly keep up with. So I could have missed something great that just slipped through the cracks. And yeah, thanks for watching. And hopefully something here was something you missed out on yourself, and because of this you were able to find something interesting that you didn't see before or that you might have missed out on.